Okay, and that is part of how government got to understand what was happening with the LGBT. Since we did not want to hear it locally, we had to go through the UN systems to complain about the LGBT rights in Dominica, and that what was happening was unfair. Now, even if Dominica has the laws repealed on the same-sex sexual activity, there's still some work that needs to be done for the protection of people and the inclusion of people within the society. As I mentioned to you before, when we got the judgment, that that is just a step in the right direction. We now have to try to get a fight for an inclusion. And since it's a culture that needs to change, is something that you have to kind of continue with. But freedom is not just about fighting for the LGBT rights, but just general rights in Dominica. And we decided that some of the other things that were happening in the society that were really glaring, that were really unfair, we decided that we were going to put it forward to the United Nations to petition the government of Dominica to look into those things and to try to create some resolutions for them. And that is why we're not just asking for a policy to be created for the inclusion of the LGBT community within the society of Dominica, but also we're asking for electoral reform.
Okay.
Because we think that it is a serious issue in Dominica. And we need to have some identification for elections. First of all, agree on some method and some protocol for elections, and also to provide some basic information that would identify people once they go to the polling station.
For example?
So that we wouldn't have to be...
Yes, go ahead.
What is that?
I say, for example, some of the... Yeah, go ahead.
For example, well, we're asking for just basic things like proof of nationality, your name, proof of address, biometrics, and also a voter registration number. So that at least when somebody steps into a polling station, you have all of that information there that you can use. Right now, you step into a polling station and you can see your name is this, that, and the other, and until somebody can prove you differently, you can get to vote. That to me is opening, is leaving the system to be compromised. So we need to create a freer, a fairer, and a more safe method of elections.
And the biometrics that you're talking about, you want that to include fingerprinting, yes?
Yeah, well, the biometrics is either fingerprinting, it's a form of biometrics.
Okay.
But yes, some form of identification that you can cross-check. Because as it is right now, is that, anybody can just step in and just go to vote. And if you have somebody who's in the polling station who is strong enough to tell the people, no, he has to vote because this, that, and the other, then they let him through. So we need to tighten those protocols so that all the different things that we kind of fear that are happening, we'll kind of put a cover on that so that it wouldn't happen.
And you have made the recommendations to the government of Dominica.
Well, the thing is that people have been making recommendations to the government of Dominica for years. But as an article said in the paper, that electoral reform is like a wheels within wheels within wheels in Dominica. Every time you think you're getting somewhere, there's something else that comes up that just clogs up the situation. And there seems to be an unwillingness of the government to really do those reforms and do them properly. So the United Nations is one of those places that you go to that the government is kind of has an obligation to respond to the Human Rights Council on those complaints that are made to them.
And you made
it's just one of the avenues where you could bring a complaint.
So you made these complaints to the convention at this point, or for the past couple of days you've been meeting there?
Well, yes. I did a presentation earlier this morning. Actually, Dominica was the first to present, and that is one of the things that we kind of presented. So I sent you the information of the presentation that we made and also the recommendations that we are putting to the Human Rights Council to investigate, and hopefully the delegates of the United Nations will bring it up to the government to ask about it.
You said that there was some pushback as it relates to the laws just passed, Miradom. You're saying as we speak that you guys don't feel included in the whole social aspect of things?
Well, Matt, you cannot have for years been treating some people as second class and just think that because a law is lifted that they will immediately be included in the society.
Okay.
And what makes it worse is that, you see, we have to get the government to commit to doing something. So by example, okay, the court has made a ruling that this is wrong, and we're going to help not only the laws be lifted, but to ensure that our people understand that it really needs to be lifted by creating a policy that would show support for the judgment that has come through. And that's not all of it. I mean, it went on, people just decide to dismiss that whole thing of the Minister of Legal Affairs coming on the radio and saying that even if the court gave a judgment about that case, the laws are still on the books. I don't know, to me, it's just kind of... we just dismiss that as being nonsense. But I think people need to know that the government is tenacious enough and unfair enough to try to do things that even if the court has said so. They investigated, they found out that it is wrong, they had a hearing, they decide that it is wrong, and the Minister of Justice just come on the radio and say, even if the court says so, it is still on the books. That is wrong.
And you felt kind of broken by just that statement from the AG?
No, I didn't feel broken. I just found that was a misguided statement.
How long you guys going to be in Switzerland? Are you going to be in Switzerland at the Human Rights?
No, just be there until Friday.
Just be there until Friday. Well, I'm hoping when you come back, we can have a open and honest conversation. I know you're very busy to go back into the meeting, so we want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Matt. Thanks for calling me, and I'm very happy to get the opportunity to explain this. And yes, I will take the time off to explain to you a little more.
All right, thank you. So you made some recommendations to the UN. We're hoping that they are, taken back to the government of Dominica.
Yes, that's what it is. It is a pre-session. The final hearing of the Universal Periodic Review will be in November. So I think what they will do is that they'll compile all of those complaints that are being heard by the states that are being reviewed at this point, and they will send it to the government. The government will make their statements about it, and then they'll discuss it further at the ambassadors' hearings.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And as you said before, electoral reform is high up on the agenda to the United Nations in that forum.
Well, the United Nations does take that very seriously. And for Dominica, it is a very serious matter. We need a free and fair election that is kind of respected by all.
All right, Mr. Darrell Phillip, thank you very much. I'm hoping that the United Nations take it up and present it to the government of Dominica. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
We do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, Dominica, that was Mr. Darrell Phillip from Miradom at the United Nations in Switzerland, making recommendations. As he said, Dominica was the first to present. We're going to come back and we'll take your phone calls. Yeah, we're having a little difficulty there with our computers here. We're trying to get going there. Just stick around as we try to get this problem resolved, huh? Oh, Angela,
can't play with. You are everything. You can't play. You're my Angela, 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 Angela. Angela, let me know for a bit. Angela, let me know for you. Angela, let me know for passing. Angela, let me know for Paris. Angela, something to the radio.
All right, Dominica, you just heard Mr. Daryl Phillip, I'd say in the Switzerland, attending a very important meeting of human rights, where he made some recommendations. And one of the recommendations the government should commit to a policy that will encourage the new inclusion of the LGBTQ in the Dominican society, where they would live a life to be free from discrimination and encourage their total inclusion in society with equal rights, just as all other citizens of Dominica. One of the second recommendations made to the UN there on human rights, to commit to electoral reform before the next general election and ensuring that A, the voter electoral list is cleansed and updated, B, that there is a voter identification of every voter, which will include citizenship, the name, residence, biometrics, fingerprinting, etc., voter registration number. 3, to report on a quarterly basis every 3 months on the Citizenship by Investment Program, stating all information. Again, to report on a quarterly basis every 3 months on the Citizenship by Investment Program, stating all information concerning the amount of Dominican passports processed and the amount of money collected, and that all the money is deposited in a consolidated fund of the Treasury of Dominica. And 4, to commit to a National Human Rights Council in the Commonwealth of Dominica that will be in keeping with the United States Paris Principles. So these are some of his recommendations. Mr. Daryl Phillip, head of Miradom. Making a presentation. in Switzerland. This morning. And you heard Mr. Phillips saying that even after the recent laws passed in their favor, they don't feel that they are living in a non-discriminatory and encourage. They want to be included in society with equal rights like every other Dominican. So, you see where this is going, huh? The Miriam society wants to be included in everyday living, huh? Let's see what your comments are. But I must say, though, despite these inclusion principles that they're asking for, they're making some very good points to this human rights society. Somebody's saying at this time, based on what I just read out there, inclusion on what? Who's bothering the LGBTQ people in Dominica or discriminated against them? What Daryl is fighting for to happen in Dominica will never pass as law. Go live in Europe, Canada, and the USA, where you can be other than the pronoun or other pronouns. Morality can be legislated by the even government. So what is he fighting for, Mr. Daryl Phillip? It will not happen. A boy is a male and a girl is a female, and said people will grow up to be men and women, especially, respectively, period. What sexual practice will they pick up later on? Well, it's a matter of them and their families. If people were born gay, why then one sex? Why the same sex people give birth to another human? Huh? The question is, what is it that you're really fighting for? Somebody's asking, how can the gay group get to stand before the council and the United Workers' Party or any opposition is unable to do so? Well, I won't be able to explain at this time. I'll try to get more information why just the other groups in Dominica don't get a chance to go to the Human Rights Council to present their cases. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. That is the only thing the person see Mr. Philip fighting for about his gay rights.
No, but he was fighting for your rights to get a vote. He did mention that. He did mention that.
Yes, he's fighting for every other thing, but that's the only thing the person could mention for you. Mr. Philip, thank you for standing up for all the rights of your rights, the rights of Dominicans to vote freely, the rights of our money to come back in our country. Mr. Philip, thank you. I compliment you. Wherever you are, may God bless, guide, and protect you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Yes, you heard him saying that they stand for voting opportunities and free elections there. He did present that case. You can't doubt him for that. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yeah? Uh-huh.
Hello, you know what I suspect Blue Ramirez.
Well, why would you say that? Blue is making a lot of sense. He did not just talk about, his rights. He spoke about your rights as well to have a free vote. He represented Dominica in that way. So, unless you might be against the Miradom, but on that point, you have to give him credit, huh? On the telephone, hello, yes?
Let's be positive, man. Let's think about the good things, man. Let's think about the good things.
Think about
I want to thank the young man, Matt. I want to thank the gentleman for making representation on our behalf with respect to our missing billions. That has been burning in us, Matt. Even everything we're doing right now, we have to reflect on our missing billions. Even right now, we want to honor our golden girl. If we had all our missing billions, 2-3 million would not be any problem for us to be even debating that. So I thank the young man for making good representation on our behalf in that respect. And I hope the international community takes note in terms of the difficulties that we have with our passport money coming to do development projects in Dominica. And also, Matt, with respect to our try to get free and fair election in Dominica. I thank again the young man for shedding light on that, Matt, so that the international community again can have an idea as to the dictatorship that continues to exist in Dominica. They can have an idea as to what CCJ spoke about, the tainting of election process in Dominica. So I thank Mr.
Philip, yes.
Mr. Philip for his representation on our behalf, Matt, and I'll continue to pray for Mr. Philip so that, Matt, you will be like me. You'll be like one of us, Matt, a normal human being with a nice little girlfriend, married and so on, and raising a nice little family, boy and girl. I continue to pray for Mr. Philip, Matt, so that he can do, live a normal life. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
But he said he's living a normal life and he just wants to be included in the Dominican society where they would be able to live free from discrimination.
Yes, well, exactly, Matt, because, Matt, I want him to enjoy his right to do whatever he wants to do, Matt, but I just want him to make choices, Matt, that will give him longevity of life, instead of making choices that will take away of his life, or even making choices that suggest that human beings cannot even be born, because, you have to have different types, Matt, for you to have a human being in the system. So I just want to encourage him, Matt, stand up for your right. Because I'll stand up for your right to choose to make your choices, Matt. But I want to encourage him to make right choices, Matt. God bless you.
God bless you too. On the telephone. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Sorry, we missed that phone call. Let's continue to take your phone calls here. Our first stop in the afternoon. Yes, Mr. Daryl Phillip at the Convention there for Human Rights, putting his case forward there. Making many recommendations to that convention to be presented to the government of Dominica. Hello, yes?
Yes, Matt. Miradom is standing for electoral rights. Does it mean then the ERC, the Electoral Reform Coalition, has to stand for Miradom? Thank you.
You're asking the question, okay? Maybe you could ask him the question when he comes back to Dominica. Hello? Your rights. You stand for what you want? Is that?
Good things you will never get credit. Just make one mistake and the world will forget. And another someone like to pray for me because Dominica, the people is not another come prepare your woman as Dominican son. Bye-bye.
All right, somebody says this is the same blue months ago when Kyra represented Miradom, burned fire and brimstone on the same man. What proof is there to be? What proof is there? He's making any representation. I will speak on what I want, not what UWP sounding boards. All of a sudden, thanking Daryl for what? For these are yet some people who drag this man months again as hypocrites. I have time today. 449-3095-9697. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Percy.
Yes.
Let me say something.
Say something.
Everybody have a right to the opinion. I agree he's asking for this thing that they freedom of water it is. But let me tell you that what God said no, which is in Romans 1, It is in the book of in Genesis, and many more. He talks about the immoral life. If he comes in his freedom, that he will not let it go. And the most important thing you have to let go is the martyrdom story about their fulfilling lifestyle. That is what I'm trying to tell you. He tried to use that to go through for so that they could be established. That's what I have to say.
Again, I mean, he's fighting for his rights. He's saying, yes, but we want to be, although the law a few months ago said, you're big people, you can do what you want in society, but he wants to be included, and not discriminated against in society. His group feels that they've been discriminated against in society. So he's fighting for that right. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, Matt, speaking from a historical point of view, and I repeat, a historical point of view, it's a great strategy for the LGBT community. Why? Because they stood with blacks, especially in America, when they had their struggle against, segregation, against, oppression, from the white supremacists. They stood with them. And subsequently, the blacks felt indebted to stand with the LGBT community. So again, Matt, from a strategical, historical point of view, it's a great move, Matt. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon to you too. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, I'm a bit puzzled.
Tell me what you're puzzled about.
Tell me, where does Miriam get involved? Did they not overstep their boundary? How come they are making an application on behalf of the Electoral Commission, the Electoral Committee?
Because they were asked to make recommendations as it relates to human rights and what Dominica may be facing. So they placed that on their agenda to present to the United Nations on human rights. So this is one of the recommendations that they made, Peter.
Well, I just hope that will not hurt their main cause, because they're stepping on the toes of the government, and maybe that might have been a bit stepping over their boundary. But if you say they were encouraged to do that, why isn't our local electoral committee out there, Mr. Blanchard, Mr. Coffey? Why haven't
so you don't think they can represent Dominica? They're Dominicans too, Peter, because they belong to the LGBTQ family. Don't think they can make a presentation on our behalf? And I think they made a very good one of the recommendations they made. I want to repeat to you. They want the United Nations to recommend to the government to commit to electoral reform before the next general elections, and ensuring that the voter electoral list is cleansed and updated. There's a voter identification for every voter, which will include citizenship, the name, the residence, biometrics, fingerprinting, etc., voter registration number. Don't you think that these are just good recommendations, even if they were presented by the Miriam group?
I absolutely agree with you. I'm just a bit concerned that they might have just overstepped their boundary and will only hurt their cause.
All right, Peter, thank you very much. On the telephone, 133, talk to me, yes?
Ma, did I ever call your radio last time when young people was on the radio? Lambasting them people, man?
I can't remember if you lambast what's her name, Cara. I don't remember that. No.
No, not Mary. That's the person that called them was nothing to say. Tell them to shut their mouth. It's impossible for me to call and lambast Mr. Philip. I never did that. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. 133 is the afternoon time. Again, one of the recommendations they're asking the government of the United Nations to present on their behalf, they want a policy that would encourage the inclusion of their group, the LGBTQ, in the Dominican society, where they would live a life that is free from discrimination and encourage their total inclusion in society with equal rights, just as all other citizens of Dominica. That is what they're fighting for. Somebody's asking, how can the gay group get a standard before the Human Rights Council and the UWP or any opposite? You know how powerful These people are in international groups. Very, very powerful people. Because they often feel sidelined. And so we're talking human rights. And that is why they will be given an opportunity to represent their group. On the telephone, they're a very powerful group in the international community. Yes, go ahead.
LGBT that controlling the world right now.
Thank you.
They that have the money. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I agree with you.
They
Yes.
that have the money, and a lot of those groups that they are controlling certain governments now.
Mm-hmm. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah? Mm-hmm.
But it means we will sell our soul to the devil to achieve what we want. That is what wrong is. Who do it? That is what it means.
Repeat your statement there, because you what?
I said it means we will sell our soul to the devil to achieve what we want.
Okay.
It also means that wrong is who do it.
Okay.
Good.
All right, thank you. Somebody else asked, man, the man just looking for sympathy, he should have also added to increase the age of consent. How are they being deprived of the human rights? Tube stand? Man, I'm not gay, but we're fornicating and committing adultery. Tell them put it on the Dominica books. My boy Brian is good. He's playing with on words, huh? Somebody's asking me, in what ways the members of the Miradom feel that they've been discriminated against in Dominica? Well, based on his recommendation, they feel that, let me go back to that text from Mr. Philip and his recommendations. They want government to include a policy that will encourage the inclusion, so they want to be included. The LGBTQ want to be included in Dominican society, where they will live a life that is free from discrimination and encourage their total inclusion in society with equal rights, just as all other citizens of Dominica. So they want to be just the way you are. Yourself, you're not being discriminated against because of who you are. They want to feel inclusion. Or they want to feel included. They still feel that they've been discriminated against, even if after the law was passed. A couple of months back, they want to have a free reign, huh? Somebody says, Peltier, the ignorance of a lot of Dominicans is astounding. The government already legislates morality. The best fact that they can legislate for and against abortion and other moral behaviors is part of the system. So, from all the recommendations made by these individuals, and someone only hears about the LGBTQ concerns, myopic and ignorance of the highest degrees, being myopic and ignorant in the highest degree. Tell Peter that they have a right to make recommendations to the United Nations that they so desire as human beings. They have a right to be concerned We need to stop looking at the fact that the man is not what we see as normal and is fighting for a large segment of society. Tell these people that they can shut their mouths because some of them perform abnormal sexual acts with their significant other in the privacy of their own bedrooms. Different subject. Altogether, Dominica, we have 449-3095-9697. Guess people have different opinions. I guess just the way you interpret it, huh? In other words, they may want the right to, kiss in public, that we see normal human behavior. They want the right to include to, like, for example, walking on the streets of Roseau. But the argument is according to one person, but they have a right. They have their bedrooms where they can do what they want to do. No room for that in society. This text message reads at this time. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Not a few months ago, you were singing a different song,
What different song I was singing?
I said, you were singing a different song.
Okay.
So I would like to hear Pastor Rodney's take on that, too. Honestly. Because a few months ago, we were singing a totally different song.
What is the different song where we're singing? I'm saying that they're fighting for their right to not to be discriminated against. I don't think Pastor, what's his name? Pastor Rodney was speaking differently. He said that is what they're fighting for. That is what he said that they were fighting for. Just what they're presenting at this time. So Pastor Rodney was on point. He was saying that is what they're fighting for, to be included. And of course, the rights were given to them to do whatever they want in the bedroom, but not to be out there in society and in the public. Somebody's making the point, Matt. I do not think the LGBTQ people are looking for inclusion. Many are already prominent in society without discrimination. They seem to want to be open about who they are and do what they want without retaliation or discrimination. We all know that there are many who are straight in the day and queer in the night. Somebody saying that they want their Pride Month as well. Somebody saying, man, if he can reach the UN Human Rights Commission, can anyone from the ERC or opposite delegate make their way to the Human Rights Commission? What is hindering the opposition forces? Someone needs to tell me the UNHRC about the state of abuse of power, especially against Thompson, James, Brian, and others. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Mr. Peltier, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you, blessings.
Matt, you have to be careful how you address the man now, you know. The man is a doctor, you know. I took all his program and said doctor and called him all professor and thing. Now I hear he's a real doctor. You saw him in his gong now, Matt?
I haven't seen him yet.
Okay, they tell me what discussion you have? 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What how you going, Matt?
You're talking about the LGBTQ, yes, this one?
Oh, the alphabet. Oh, I wanted to say the alphabet. Matt, I have a few things to say. Would you allow me, please, sir?
So, once you're sticking on subject here, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Matt, come on, what are you, boy, Matt? You like to treat me like a piece of ragged these days. Anyway, Matt, biblically, they say the act of homosexualism and lesbianism and all of these things, abomination. Okay. We passed that. Now pastor and priest marrying same sex and all of that, Matt. So, Matt, even once it was a mental illness. Do you know that in history, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
They claim homosexuality to be a mental illness. So all what, my brethren, why is his name Daryl what? Philip, Matt?
Daryl Philip, yes.
My brethren and sistren all over the world fighting for. They can flip the script on them anytime, Matt. And if they can have our babies, educating them or indoctrinating them, they're not educating, indoctrinating them on all manner of sex, Matt, in the little class, what you're looking at, 8 years, 10 years, and all of that. They can give them a right. One man dress up in brassiere and in a mini skirt, and the other man dress up in his jeans and thing and walk down the road. They can kiss, they can hug up. Not that tsunami. Who is going to stop it now? More than when the powers that be in the world ready to flip the script on them and make it illegal again. Make it a mental illness again. Look, there's a monkeypox, Matt. If all the nasty gain of function using natural pathogens or viruses in the earth that are not deadly, Matt, and they're taking it, bring it in laboratories and modify it. It's like avocado going 150 miles. You take it to a mechanic, Matt, and he put some rocket boosters on it and go 250 miles. That's what they're doing with viruses or pathogens and membagaila, Matt. So I do not see the force about homosexuals wanting same rights. They have same rights before they even give them rights, Matt. And what is the same? How similar is the same when context is not considered and motive is not known? So I'm just saying, Matt, all that big thing, Matt, the horse has already bolted the stable. The horse has already left the stable, Matt. The whole world is upside down. When you have non-binary, Matt, you give birth to a child, Matt, legally, you cannot determine what sex the child is in Europe, in America, and it is going to come to Dominica. It refers to it as non-binary. And the child will determine what sex he or she is when she reach a particular age. So they have breast binders, puberty blockers, and they can cut your vagina, erect a plastic surgery penis, cut your penis, put a plastic surgery vagina, put breast, all kind of things, make your hips get big and turn you. But the foods, medically and chemically, we have been castrated already, you know. So most of the time you see young men, Matt, they're walking and behaving like women. It's not they. It's the chemicals and all the medicines and all the things. It's a conspiracy to depopulate, Matt, or to exterminate the world population. It's almost 9 billion. They say it's too much for the earth, the gods of the world, who control presidents and prime ministers.
So are you suggesting, Blessing, that the policy is already in place because our LGBTQ community is now saying they want to be included and they don't have this kind of rights in Dominica to, to socialize and be equal with others. So they're fighting for a policy to be put in place. Are you saying the policy is already in place?
But even heterosexual, there are limitations. Isn't that so, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Can you go on the beach and have sex with your girlfriend, Matt?
No.
For you not to be charged if they catch you?
But that is what they're fighting for.
No, but that is what I am saying, Matt. It seems like they want to go over the limit in the rights and inclusion. When I'm saying they have all the rights, they can do what they want, Matt. I do not think, well, they're making a big fuss out of it. And as I say, Matt, the world, the people who run the world is playing homosexual, heterosexual, children, babies, animals. Everything is a commodity. Everything is on sale. So when Mr. Daryl Phillip, I may have seen you, so I don't know you. I'm not attacking you. Please do not get me wrong. To get the context in which I speak, I am just saying the horse has already bolted the stable. What is holding you back from manifesting or exercising all the rights heterosexuals are manifesting or exercising or displaying? Matt, I mean, it is just a sickening discussion, and I'm not going to say it's a waste of time. It is healthy to discuss those things because, Matt, this is the new age, globalization.
But Blessings, would you, of course, I mean, he made a lot of other recommendations. Would you compliment him for, of course, taking the issue of, electoral reform to the UN in that form? Are you there, Blessings? Are you there?
To me, it sounds a little perverted, Matt. Why the same agenda, two different agendas on the same objective? You have an objective, why two different agendas? To me, that is like night and day. But I mean, I still would want to say, if it's genuine, Matt, more power be to him having to do with electoral reform, taking it to the highest place where he can reach. But I'm still saying, why mix apples and oranges? Why not separate the issues? But maybe that's what the opportunity he gets, Matt, and he don't want to go twice. He don't want to waste his time. So according to you, Matt, let me congratulate him. I want to commend him for taking electoral reform to them, Matt, same as he take his homosexual agenda. So more respect be to the person, Matt. I don't know him. Okay. I am not to make nobody try to tell you I say nothing bad about you. Matt, have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. 152, somebody says, Ms. Daryl Phillips should be commended for that move to present at this high-level mission before the UN Human Rights Commission. This is the problem in Dominica. We talk without taking action. And when action is taken, as has been done by Mr. Phillip, we are now discussing the gentleman lifestyle instead of the action he took on behalf of Dominicans. But please remind the callers that there are 10 commandments in the Bible, not just one, for those who are looking at this one commandment. Dominicans must wake up and act as Daryl did. Thank you so much. I think if it would be better if they get their rights, somebody else is saying, because all those in the closet will be out under the banner of house band. Wow. That's a blow there, boy. So all will come out. Just give them the right. You'll see who's gay and who's not gay. Somebody's asking the questions. I will not be judge, nor jury, nor executioner. What I will be, though, is a critical observer. What is it exactly are these members looking for from the government? Why would the same-sex individuals, the homos, ask a judge to give them consent to engage in adult activities in the confines of their homes behind closed doors? What has the judge to do to get? And how do you choose to pass the days and nights, events, or evenings, or weekends, or mornings, etc.? unless if you engaged in public display of affection in its extremities, resulting in a total public nuisance. My question is Miriam seeking permission to have some acceptance as heterosexuals? Whose society has tolerated when the PDA has shown or is shown? What is really Miriam seeking at this point? Public social acceptance to allow them to show affection with the same sex in the public without being frowned upon, to admonish, punish, or charge for indecent behavior, etc., etc. I'm just waiting for the lawyers to respond. Matt, we are so blinded. This agenda of Europe, and they will make the opportunity or take the opportunity for anybody that is fit profile to be had. In January, there is a launch of Caribbean Pride cruise to Dominica, St. Kitts, to Lucia, St. Martin, all of the same itinerary. It's 1:55 in the afternoon. We're going to take a break and change the conversation, huh?
Something good. Something good.
Fantastic news from E-Star Trading Limited, presenting yet another top quality, unbeatably priced product brought in especially for you. Just receive world-class Cleo brand canned tuna in chunks and flakes, available in sunflower oil and brine. Prices start as low as $2.95 per can. Yes, you heard right. Cleo brand canned tuna, perfect for delicious dishes at home, in restaurants and hotels. Shop and save today on world-class Cleo brand tuna, available at E-Star Trading Limited. E-Star Trading Limited, working hard every day to make a difference for you.
Something good. Something good. When you want the best, what you do? Shop at SCS. Better than the rest. Shop at SCS. And they all confess. Shop at SCS. You get more for less. Shop at SCS. Shop at SCS. Yeah. Shop at SCS. Shop at SCS. What they say? Shop at SCS. SCS family, customer friendly. With 3 locations, it's so convenient. And our prices, they are the nicest. Madam and mystery, that's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SCS. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SCS. Auntie, nene, and cousin, friend, open power, all of them. Grandma, grandpa, open neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. What? Shop at SCS. Shop at SCS. Oh, yeah. Shop at SCS. Shop at SCS. Check us out at Pottersville, High Street, and downtown Rose.
All right, Dominica, much talked about airport construction. In some quarters, you're hearing there's a lot of work going on the airport. In others, you're hearing nothing. Some employees are complaining of not getting monies for weeks. And we're hearing that we might see the runway. So what exactly is going on there at the airport, the much talked about airport in the Wesley Woodford area? Let's present two clips at this time. Two clips.
The lab does all the tests for the soils, for the concrete, to ensure that the quality of the work that is being done is done to specification. One of the first things that we had to do was to get a good understanding of the soil that we would be cutting and filling for the new airport. So that's the team who will lead up the lab. Mr. Murad is the project director from MMC. The layout of the airport, this shows where green is a good sign. That means green is done. They've been able to 650 boreholes. So we've actually, if you've been following the project, we are targeting about 600. We've actually gone beyond the initial amount that we said. The boreholes give the engineers and the contractors a good understanding of the type of material that is in the ground. The project is really an earthworks project. Dominic is the original NFL. No flat land. First thing that has to happen is the creation of the flat land on which the planes can land. A lot of the work, it is the cutting of hills and the filling of valleys. You need to know the hill that you're cutting, what material it is. Can it be used for backfill? If not, what sort of treatment you'd have to do with it so it can be used. So you don't want to have to go and import material from outside of the site. You want to use as much as possible the material that is on the site.
Boreholes means is you drill a hole inside the soil. That hole varies from 50 meters deep, which is 150 feet deep into the ground, to 10 meters, which is about 30 feet. And when we drill that hole, we get the sample of the different layers of the soil. And based on this, we know what kind of soil we have and then what kind of materials we have to mix it with in order to give it to the proper strength that we require to provide a solid surface and to avoid settlement in the future. After we finish, we go, because the site is going up and down with valleys, we go to a depth of 120 feet valleys, and we have to backfill all this based on layers. We don't just backfill the whole thing at one time. We have to layer it. And when we layer, we spread, we compact certain level, and then level after level until we get to the finished level.
I also think I have another clip that speaks of the the runway that may be ready around the same time next year. I'll see if I can present that to you. So it appears there's some movement. Brian Linton, what are you hearing on the ground there in the Wesley Woodford area? What are you hearing, Brian Linton?
Matt, it's not just what I'm hearing. I'm listening to the clips from the gentleman on the project, Matt. And there are more questions that are arising because, for example, I do not know if you could recall some time ago, with respect to the testing of the soil and the boreholes, the schedule with respect to the completion of the boreholes would somewhere about at least a year to 12 to 18 months in the future. They would have completed the boreholes, the testing. Because remember, that's one of the things that we were seeing and observing all the time, that you're talking about a final costing for the airport. And we cannot see a plan, we cannot see we do not know of any studies, environmental impacts studies or anything of the sort. We're not hearing anything of those things there, of the designs of the airport. Then all of a sudden, recently, we're hearing that we have designs for the airport. And now listening to the gentleman, we're hearing that, it's something like as though the planning, as they're going along the planning. It's not anything where they're working along a particular definitive plan to construct the airport within a certain period of time. That's just a whole set of confusion, because even with respect to the boreholes, they tell you right now that they've done even probably, I think it's close to probably around 200 more boreholes than what they originally intended to do, and they completed with all of those boreholes. And, I'm wondering, okay, well, yes, what are the speed in which that these boreholes were completed? Because as far as we understood this initial communication that we had with the organizers of the project, those boreholes would have still been, doing the boreholes even all now so. But we're hearing now that they're completed and they're even more than what they intended to do. So something that sounds fishy about all of that, Matt. And you're hearing about an airstrip, that they're going to put on the airstrip and all of those fancy things, Matt. And
yeah, I'm hearing, and I will play that for you later, that the airstrip will become a reality sometime next year around the same time. So I'm saying, wow, they're moving very quickly.
Well, exactly, Matt, and that is left to be seen. And you have to be suspicious of all of those things with respect to even the propaganda behind it, to try to give people the impression of something that is happening that is not really going according to a plan, even with respect to the financing of the facility. Big issues, Matt, major issues with respect to the land acquisition. There are a number of people in the area who have not yet received any compensation for their lands, Matt. So there are a number of unsettled issues in that airport.
You're saying until now people have not received compensation for their land, Brian?
Yeah, Matt, there are a number of people who have not yet received compensation. The last time we heard Mr. Skerry talk about a $15 million that he paid and so on, that wasn't to complete the payment in a matter as it were. That was just partial payment still. So there's still all of those type of outstanding issues to deal with, Matt. And then even with respect to the EIA, the Environmental Impact Assessment, Matt, that we've not heard about any of those things, Matt. Up to now, we cannot see any concrete. You see, for example, Matt, like when they were doing the Marriott Hospital, you had a picture there out front, and when a serious company came and did that and so on, and the final building we have there now looks pretty much like what was on display. But you don't have anything like that to say, okay, well, this is what the project is going to look like on completion. Nothing of the sort, Matt. We just have movement, Matt, and then the sad thing about all that is that Dominicans forgot. We have had an experience like that, on a much smaller scale. But we have had an experience like that in the past, the La River Hotel project, Matt. We have had an experience like that, Matt. Okay? And then all of the promises with respect to Montreal management, front-loading money for the international airport, Matt. We're not seeing those things that are coming to a reality, Matt. All the money spent on the airport to date is money from the government of Dominica, our money, not even passport money. Okay, and the plan was to finance that project. We reached somewhere over $600 million now in the in what they see they have as the final draft. So Matt, it's just confusion. It's just confusion. I hope that it's something happens so that we could see some increased economic activity in the area, because even right now as we speak, the economic impact, Matt, is very minimal, just because the majority of foreign Chinese workers that we have on the project, Matt, for a fact, that based on our experience, that Chinese workers do not support the local economy. So that economic impact, even right now during the years of construction, while the airport we are supposed to have, which have been under construction, the economic impact is not being felt in the area. So, you have all of these concerns, and then you have the cause, the effect, and people say about the price of development. Yes, there's a price of development, but we have to manage our price of development, and we have to make sure that while we are developing our nation, we do not inconvenience our citizens unnecessarily. But our roads are being destroyed every day. The road from Marigot, only in the northeast, for example, for instance, Westfield, Woodford, Kalibishi, all these roads destroyed, Matt, because of the heavy equipment, and very little maintenance is being done to the roads that are being destroyed, and our vehicles are paying for that. So instead of we have to end up spending more on maintenance of our vehicles. So you see, it's having instead of having a positive economic impact on us, it's actually having a negative economic impact on us. We've heard the situation with our brother David Shagel. That's all related to the construction of the international airport, Matt, where they're just seizing people's land without permission and all of those types of issues, Matt. So we cannot look at that, what they say they're doing in Wesley in isolation from what they're doing to our roads, what they're doing to David, what they're doing to the other people of Wesley, those people who have not yet received compensation for their land, what they're doing to the people of Dominica by not giving us an environmental impact assessment for us to know exactly how this is going to affect the environment. We see they filling up valleys, just pouring, blocking waterways and whatnot and so on, without even any consideration of the future implications on the environment. But so it's not something that we can be confident about, because of the fact that we are operating in ignorance with respect to what they see they are doing and what we see actually is happening. And then when we take into consideration the whole financial situation with respect to the financing of that major project.
All right, Mr. Brian Linton, thank you very much. Your observations there, really, airport. Let's listen to this clip as well. Yes, this one.
Lab does all the tests for the soils, for the concrete, to ensure that the quality of the work that is being done is done to specification. One of the first things that we had to do was to get a good understanding of the soil that we'd be cutting and filling for the new airport. So that's the team who will lead up the lab. Mr. Murad is the project director from MMC. The layout of the airport, this shows where green is a good sign. That means green is done. They've been able to 650 boreholes. So we've actually, if you've been following the project, we are targeting about 600. We've actually gone beyond the initial amount that we said. The boreholes give the engineers and the contractors a good understanding of the type of material that is in the ground. The project is really an earthworks project. Dominic is the original NFL. No flat land. First thing that has to happen is the creation of the flat land on which the planes can land. A lot of the work, it is the cutting of hills and the filling of valleys. You need to know the hill that you're cutting, what material it is. Can it be used for backfill? If not, what sort of treatment you'd have to do with it so it can be used. So you don't want to have to go and import material from outside of the site. You want to use as much as possible the material that is on the site.
And there is excitement in the air possible guy in charge. I think it's Mr. Cal Moran. Free airstrip that might be available sometime next year around the same time.
So in 12 months from now, exactly, the whole runway will be completed. In 12 months, in 1 year.
So the amount of work you're looking at right
next year, same time, you guys come here and you will see the whole runway in one area, just waiting for asphalt. Because before we asphalt, we have to wait 1 year to test the settlement. That's what we have. After that, we asphalt it and it's good to go. Yes.
Let's hear it again. Next year around the same time, we'll have an airstrip with asphalts, and we will be good to go. Let's play that clip there again, Mr. Cal Moran. Yeah? Let's listen again.
So in 12 months from now, exactly, the whole runway will be completed. In 12 months, in 1 year.
So the amount of work you're looking at right
next year, same time, you guys come here and you will see the whole runway in one area, just waiting for asphalt. Because before we asphalt, we have to wait 1 year to test the settlement. That's what we have. After that, we asphalt it and it's good to go.
All right, good to go. By this time next year, let's go on the telephone. Are you there? Sorry about that. Let's take another phone call. Are you there? Yeah?
Matt, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, that just shows exactly what level of transparency, governance transparency we have in Dominic, Matt Peltier. But I'm sure you remember when the United Workers' Party had plans to build international airports. They invited Dominicans to Londonderry, Matt, so that the experts there could explain everything. Nothing was hidden, Matt Peltier. I'm sure you might have been there, Matt Peltier. All right? And everything, people had the opportunity.
Yes, above that, but that's many years ago, and we agree. The United Workers' Party were making plans to build for that airport. So, how do you feel at this time? Do you think that airport will become a reality? That's the question on the table here.
That is what every Dominican or most Dominicans are concerned about, because there has been no transparency in that project to Dominicans. None at all. Nothing at all. All right?
All right, caller, thank you very much. It's 2:17 in the afternoon. Let's take another phone call. Yes? Good afternoon to you, yeah? Are you there, Mark? Yes, I'm here.
No, sir.
You what? Copel, are you there?
No, man.
I don't know what's happening to your phone now. You're having some problems there. The same problem I was experiencing with Blue, Lucille, it's happening to you. Somebody's asking, why there is no more transparency within government with respect to what is going on and the people who should be informed. Example, passport money. Now, many passports are sold and no money. On the telephone, still questions on the table as it relates to the airport. Talk to me, yes?
Matt.
Yes, sir.
How long the international airport take to make now? Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I don't know. I think about 5-6 years maybe, or even more. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, it's not me. I didn't call.
Okay, all right. Somebody called and I was having the same problems. On the telephone, good afternoon to you, yes.
Matt, good afternoon. About my...
Oh, that's Nurse Darampol. Are you there?
Yes.
But we're having the same problem, Nurse. I'm not hearing you.
Matt.
I'm not hearing you, Nurse. I'm not hearing you, unfortunately for you. I can identify it's you, but I can't speak to you. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Mr. Peltier, blessed day to you, sir.
Blessed day to you, too.
Not are they saying how they call it, the Solomon, when they pave they put they set up the runway. they have to let it settle for a whole year before they put the asphalt, Matt. That's what the person is trying to say.
I think that's what he's trying to say, yes. You have to make it settle, to be firm.
So guess what? You're talking about 2 years, not 1 year.
Well, they are the engineers, I'm not.
Huh?
I said they are the engineers, I'm not.
Not the level of disrespect. An eternal international airport. But they say what that is going to hold the rest of the airport is skyhooks, Matt. I don't know if it's aliens that will take it deep into space and maybe tie it on how they call it, the asteroids or some other planet. But the skyhooks that will be holding the rest of the airport, the eternal international airport, Matt. Matt, what has happened to Dominicans? No feasibility study. Where was the how they call the Matt planning? Where the environmental department, all of them get kicked in the testicles, Matt. Up to now, they don't know who kicked them. If it's Ma Fuyi or Jackie Chang or some other Chinese, or if it's Chi, that's another Chinese. That is is happening in Dominica. And not just quickly, a slight deviation. Is Daryl the leader of any political party, Matt? Do you know?
Which Daryl?
Daryl Philip.
No, I don't think he's a leader of any political party, no.
Okay, let me move away from that because I think he's doing a great job as a politician, which he's not, you're telling me. But Matt, I just want to say, what has happened to Dominicans? I in Western Mary got people crying. And Matt, that's all I'm hearing. Cheers, tip tap, pop, tip tap. Nothing else is happening. I see my friend Brian make a video and showing you the condition in which the road is so dilapidated with those heavy duty vehicles running on those that 24/7, Matt. And there is nothing I'm hearing apart from that. What they give us to drink, Matt? I said that already. I don't know what part of skeletal anatomy he's washing and give his ministers around him to drink. A big tree like us tree, he root him out. Much as for those little zebra that growing all around those little trees, that is Vince and all of them. Look at what he did to Dr. Mackin. Not something is wrong with Dominica. People are not getting paid. People are broke. People are crying. And nothing is happening. And Matt, last night I had a dream. Police have me dragging up and down, arrest and let go. They say I have M16 and all kind of thing like that. Matt, it was a dream, but I wake up and I check in. It was so real. I hope only don't come and harass me. Wait for when I heal. Have a blessed day, sir.
So in 12 months from now, exactly, the whole runway will be completed. In 12 months, in 1 year.
So the amount of work you're looking at right
next year, same time, you guys come here and you will see the whole runway, one area, just waiting for asphalt. Because before we asphalt, we have to wait 1 year to test the settlement. That's what we have. After that, we asphalt it and it's good to go.
Are we good to go after that? 223, hello, talk to me, yes?
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, you cannot blame the public because, as someone said, there's no transparency. They're not keeping the public informed. We just hear about boreholes. We have not heard about a concrete plan. We have not seen a concrete plan, but yet they're full steam ahead. That's kind of bewildering for the public that, all kinds of trucks are moving around, all kinds of materials are moving around, but you're not even sure of what your boreholes tell you. And we have not seen that plan, Matt, that concrete plan. It is elusive. So you can't blame the public for doubting. And then you have a prime minister who will show up in parliament and say something like, a guy told me, he starts off with a guy told me, instead of telling us, well, the fisheries division has concluded that based on their data, this is how much a fisherman makes. Enough said, Matt. Good afternoon.
Enough said to you on the telephone. We have, of course, a voice note. Yes?
Matt, good afternoon to you and to your listeners. Matt, I can bet you that next year, same time, you will not see a runway fully completed and ready to use. Because the way the gentleman has put this sounds quite misleading, maybe not deliberately, but it does not calculate to 1 year exactly at this time, because he's saying that in 1 year's time you will see the runway location ready. Ready for what? Ready for the asphalt, waiting for the asphalt to be put down onto that surface area in order to create the runway. That's what he seems to be wanting to say, that in 1 year, the surface area will be ready and simply waiting for the asphalt to be put down onto it so that it can be utilized. However, he's saying that you have to wait 1 full year in order to allow it to settle, so that 1 full year period would have given you enough time for you to see where you might have drops in the level, where you might have raises in the level of that particular length of airstrip area that you intend to utilize. And so at that point, you will be able to then make adjustments to it in order for you to get it level so that you can then put the asphalt down onto it. The question I would ask now is, has that full area, the full length that is intended to be utilized for an airstrip, has that area been completed yet and readied so that the 1 year waiting period can start now? Because if it's not readied to the point where you can see an airstrip area that is sort of outlined, and all they have to do is to wait for the 1 year period to see whether there's elevations or drops, then it won't be ready in 1 year. You have to have that area readied and then left to lie there for 1 year to see what happens. That is my understanding. Well past 1 year.
All right, Ms. Dennis Charles, of course, took some members of our constituency to visit the much talked about construction taking place in the Wesley Woodfield area. Is that a sign of things to come? Somebody's asking the question. So every power rep would have to take the constituents to see that. Is that an election gimmick? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Somebody says, Matt, I'm willing to double my bet to $20,000 that there will be no international airport. Somebody's betting, huh? That there will be no international airport. As Blessing said on another caller, there will be a minimum of 2 years. It's impossible, another person is suggesting, to see or to have a runway in 1 year. They have to wait for a year to check the settlement of the soil. How can it be complete after a year? when they're still filling the area with soil. The question is how long before it completes soil filling. Let's talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt, have you been in that area?
I have been here to a certain extent, yes. Not to the area where they dump in the soil there for the airstrip. No, I haven't been.
Matt, I'm trying to wonder exactly where they're going to put the airstrip. Is it closer to the sea by Angelo and Allen and them families home there? In that area there, or on the other side of the street? Where are they going to put that running, Matt? I'm looking at the place and not seeing nothing. Matt, all I see is hills, mountains, valley, large hole in the center. Matt, just a couple of weeks ago I was up there. So I was trying to wonder where the hell they're going to put that running. It's on the street. That's where the place I see there. I was looking like a roadway to me, Matt. And then this brought up a set of elderly people up there that couldn't maybe even ask the relevant questions. So they've been just pulling things in their face and they get excited over that. The Finland people, what they get is here.
As somebody I'm saying, and I said to you before, it may be just an election gimmick. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Matt,
Good
I want my money. Matt.
You want your money?
My money.
Sorry about that, nurse. Sorry about that. 2:31 is the afternoon time. Hello, yes?
Matt.
Yes.
Time for them to pay Nurse Darampu her money. Nurse Darampu work hard in the hospital and all around. All you saying about run away or whatever it is. Give the lady her money, man. They beg Nurse Darampu and me and Blue for us not to talk. Give the lady her money. It's a shame. Right? The lady can't cry for her money. Right? And I call it on the floor. You hear me, Matt?
I'm hearing you. Yes, go ahead, Marlon. Yes.
I called it on the floor. I just called Bolo there to put $10 on my cell. Friday I will check him. $7. Call you and this kind of a thing. Flow take the money. But I come in behind them on Friday. They better prepare themselves. And it's time to give this time and
Okay, Marlon, your phone is giving me problems as well. Matt, honesty. By now, the government should give the public some drone footage as to the project. If the people can see some results, then that would be good in terms of transparency. We have so much technology now that they should show the footage from some drones. I'm just saying, people should see what's really going on, but we're not seeing. And of course, we're hearing a lot of promises being made about that airport. So, government of Dominica, the officials, I will try to he's been here before, to talk to the manager of the airport and see if he can give more answers. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Hello, good afternoon, Matt.
My brother, how are you?
Matt, I'm good. Matt, I'm very concerned about the information we received in respect to the boreholes, But I want to commend the gentleman that sent in the voice note talking about the fact that the airstrip will not be ready in a year. As he articulated clearly, Matt, after a full year has elapsed, after they level out the place, they have to observe it to see if you have any sink or risings or cracks, and then do it over, and then wait probably another year or 6 months. But the question of the boreholes, Matt, no contractor is going to get a contract and do additional works without it is necessary or if he is given instructions. For example, Matt, if you're doing a roof and you're sending a screw and the screw shaking, that means it didn't go on a purlin. It didn't go on a post underneath. So you have to be sending screws until it goes. They are suggesting to us in the construction industry that the place is probably too soft. So they're digging closer holes, they're begin to get solid places so that the airport will not sink, Matt. Matt, they fail and refuse to tell us about the hundreds of bags of cement that they are using and stockpiling on the project, Matt. Matt, I'm on a roof now and I'm looking at the airport site down there. And you have a blue tarpaulin, a green tarpaulin. And it have about 200 or 300 bags of cement. Not the cement to put in underneath your arm and run, you know. Cement that taking maybe about a bag that taking about a ton. But they have to mix the cement with the dry dirt and roll it because the soil is not stable. The soil cannot compact by itself. So that it's the first time in my life I see that type of construction. But I look up and there is so more about in the world they're doing that type of construction. So that is additional cost. Our concern, Matt, my concern is the cost it's going to cost Dominica to build that airport today, to finish it. Because clearly it is building, but to finish it, Matt, hundreds of millions of dollars. Because in the first place, the Prime Minister have admitted that he gave the contractors more money to buy cement because the cement wasn't part of the cost that cement they're using there now. So yes, the airport might finish if they have the money, but it will be an albatross around Dominican neck because as I speak to you now, there are government institutions that do not have ink, that don't have computer, that don't have toilet paper because they say things tight in the country. So the money to buy those things that they have.
And you're right. A lot of people are not giving LPOs. I hear that every day. They're not accepting the LPOs from government.
Very well, Matt. So the airport that have that going on, the airport have us on that strain, Matt, because it's $200 million was given to the Chinese to mitigate the impact of the failure of they doing the feasibility study to ensure that the area can take an airport. And as I close, Matt, the saddest thing about that, Matt, the saddest thing about the millions that go in, according to Roosevelt Terry, down a gutter, when he referred to public works, is that a place was already paid for in the West catchment area. So they didn't have no problem with land. But they say, ever they go and build the airport up there, they will say that UWP airport. So they're dead on there, mixing clay with cement and dirt. Monkey trick, Matt. What a shame. Thank you very much, Matt.
All right, thank you. Somebody says, Matt, this comment of a runway in 1 year is laughable. Are we building a real international airport or are we building a Kaipool airport? An international airport runway has to meet certain international standards before any international aircraft can land on the runway. Clearance and authorization has to be done. None of that will conclude in 1 year. Guess the Chinese need landing strip to be able to fly in and out of their established Chinese zone and will do anything to ensure it happens. Lord, have mercy on Dominica. 449-3095-9697-616-4257. Hello, yes.
Hello, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you doing? Hey, so I'm listening to the program here, and I just have a few comments, maybe some questions. So concerning the airport project, I'm from Wesley. I live in Maryland. I know it's a fact that a lot of people haven't gotten paid for their properties as yet. That's a fact. Secondly, in terms of the borehole, I can maybe, in terms of the scheduling, they maybe can get some credit in terms of the speed up of how many holes they got relative to the number that the rate that at which they were going prior to, or some months ago when they said that they were way behind. Because I saw for myself there was some drill rigs, at least two of them, that were sitting at the former St. Andrews campus, and they did say that they could increase their production if they get those into production. So in a case like that, yes, I could see their production increasing. In terms of the runway, what the guy said, it sounds a little deceptive, as one of the callers said, because he said that they have to wait 1 year for the soil to settle, or if it settles, and that will just be, there'll be no asphalt in there. So it's just the soil, the preparation of the soil. And so it seemed like 1 year doesn't sound like the road will be ready, because that would mean, as it was one previous scholar said, that the ground would be prepared like today. So they would 1 year for it to be ready. So that's a little kind of deceptive there. But it's not just asphalt alone that's supposed to go down on that runway. You have to get what they call a sub base on there. So below the asphalt, you have to have a layer of stones, open grade stones we call it. So and they have to fill the entire runway, and they have to come back, compact that, and test it. And after that, and you're talking about a lot of material. You're talking about hundreds, maybe even thousands of truckloads of that granular material. And then they come after and put a very thick layer of asphalt. It's not like the roadway that we have. It's going to be several inches thick asphalt. So the way that he said it, some kind of deceptive to me. The other thing I know about that project in terms of the poor planning, I mean, the adjacent roads. They told us that the main road going for Wesley, as we know, or at least all the Western people know by now, the main road is going to be cut off. So the main road going for Wesley now is going to be cut off. They talk about a tunnel. I haven't seen them mention that yet. But even when they cut that off, there are some roads that have to get you around to go down to the north, Woodfordale and Calibishi and Portsmouth. Right now we have a single lane road that will become the main road going through Wesley, going down through Portsmouth area if they don't take care of that. So there are a lot of things that were not taken care of, and I'm not seeing any mobilization in terms of getting those things in place. So the airport is a long way away as far as I'm concerned, because all these things are part of the old planning. The other thing with the soil mixing, familiar with that. That is a technique that's used to improve soil. They use cement, and if you have really poor soil, really soft soil, they can use and mix it. But in terms of the settlement, if you have clay, it could take years for it to settle. So it all depends on the type of soil that's down there. So with doing the borehole recently and not getting a geotechnical report at this time, I find the guy is making some big claims in terms of the year. So they I guess they know the property of the soil quite good by now, but I find that's a big statement. So I just wanted to clear some of that up or make, because I am familiar with some of these.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. 242, man. This is normal engineering practice, and the 1 year time frame for the runway to be ready is normal. They have to transport material for the base and sub base, so this will take some time. More telephone calls is 242 in the afternoon. That's 18 minutes to the hour of 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Flo Dominica. Hello, yes.
Matt,
Yes,
I know
sir.
there's a confusion in it, brother man. Because as far as I'm saying, brother man, better man, I just leave the workers' party there before, and the place will be better, moving faster, things will be happening, more people be getting jobs, opportunity to feed themselves and their family, and everything going nice and dandy. I was the man that money, but things was moving nice. We had all them kind of talk and lily and kaka and all them kind of kaka beef and all kind of things. He was moving better. In 4 years and a half, I find a man do a lot, all in that money. More than the man stay for 24 years, and people struggling to make 2 ends meet, and begging and that kind of thing. But man, we don't go nowhere, I want to us, we don't waste no time, brother man. Waste no time.
Okay.
That's to move, brother man.
All right, caller. 243, Matt. I'm not surprised some people haven't received payment for their land. I may go on for many a year. Some people may die and leave their family to fight for payment. I speak of such as it happened in Point Michel to my father. His widow died, and payment was still not received. I don't fight for what I didn't work for. Good evening. 243, hello, yes?
Yeah, greetings, brethren.
Greetings to you, sir.
And greetings to my fellow people of Dominica. God's people, stop allowing yourself to be fooled by others. Let common sense prevail. I mean, look at what's going on. Does that look like an international airport? And if it's an international airport, the FAA in America would have been notified and checked the wind, how the wind blew. I mean, a lot of things went wrong. The FAA must know because their plane that will be landing in Dominica. People, stop allowing yourself to be fooled. It's just a political campaign. The election is coming on, so you're doing that. Matt, I watched the picture this morning. I look at the runway. From the runway, when the plane lands, where is the plane going to park to disembark? Where is the location? I'm looking at it. If it's an international airport, apparently it's going to be big flights coming, huge flights. I'm looking at the runway. And then after the runway, where the flight going to disembark the passengers. That doesn't make sense. I mean, we cannot allow the people and them to be fooling us. We are God's people. Man. Stop allowing yourself to be fooled by this individual. And first of all, I worked at LaGuardia Airport for a few years doing aircraft refueling. You cannot put asphalt on a runway. It got to be concrete because the heat of the sun going to melt the asphalt. That plane is heavy, my brother. Stop allowing yourself to be fooled by those individuals. God, and one thing I have to say, God gave us dominion over the beasts, the fowls of the air, the animals and the creatures. These creatures are living better in harmony with nature than us human beings. They're living better in harmony with nature than us. Look at us. It's sad and a shame, Dominica, allowing this happen to them, man.
245, Matt. What has become of the payment for land and crops belonging to the Western people? While the people's livelihood has been taken away, my cousin is there in tears and she has not received her money for her land. They sit by and do nothing. Somebody says the tour of the airport yesterday, it was for the senior citizens of that constituency. On the telephone, 246, talk to me. Yes?
Good afternoon, Mr. Matt Tefty. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, mister. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Matt, let me make it, I think I've said it a number of times, that I want to make it abundantly clear that I'm in support of the construction of an international airport and want to see the airport completed and completed properly.
Okay.
I listened to a voice note I received from that was yesterday or thereabout, when there was that recent visit to the airport by some persons. Yes. And the Chinese ambassador made a statement which I need to clarification on, and I believe the Chinese embassy should clarify about it. First of all, we were told, and we are all aware, that the airport construction financing is to come from the CBI financing money program. The contract between the contractor and the developer of the airport, which is MMC, Anthony Hayden's company, it will be financed under the CBI program, which is Dominica's money. The statement I heard from the Chinese ambassador states that he is guaranteeing that the airport will be completed, and it will be completed on time. I believe there is a need for the Chinese ambassador to clarify that statement. I don't think anyone is questioning the capacity and ability of the contractor, which is a main Chinese company, to complete an engineering project like this. So when he said that it will be completed and completed on time, it's not just the engineering capacity or the competence of the company that is constructing it, it's the availability of finance to ensure that it is properly completed. So is he saying, or should we interpret it to mean that if the government cannot find the money under the CBI program, the Chinese government is guaranteeing that they will complete the airport and complete it on time? If that is the case, then that's good, but we need clarification. And if they're saying that it will be completed, and that's the intention of the statement by the Chinese ambassador, the financing that they'll be providing Dominica, will it be a loan or will it be grant financing? That needs to be clarified. We need clarification on this because we are hearing all sorts of statements about what's happening in other countries and so on. And also the question about the fact that there are many Dominicans, particularly in the Wesley area, who have not been fully compensated. They have not received compensation for their property. If this project was being financed by an international company, development bank, like, say, the World Bank, they would ensure that these all people whose lands are affected and compulsory acquired by the government, these people are paid before commencement of the project. This is what happened with respect to the road from Parish Pit back to Hatton Garden. All persons along that road were compensated before commencement of the project, this is expected because you're affecting people's livelihood, people's life, and so on. So now that the government is not able to pay or not paying, will the Chinese government provide financing to ensure that these people are paid? These are serious issues need to be clarified. It also needs to be clarified in the context of what we are hearing around the place. The fact that there might be a snap elections, etc. Can this be misinterpreted to mean that the Chinese government and ambassador is interfering in the local politics of Dominica? I know the Chinese government is very concerned that no one should interfere in the internal politics of China, which I support completely. So therefore, we need clarification on these things. We have people in Dominica who understand issues, and this issue needs to be clarified. I am asking the government to clarify this issue. The project was to be financed under the CBI program with CBI financing. The Chinese ambassador is now saying that the project will be completed and guaranteed that it will be completed on time. Is it because of his guaranteeing the capacity of the contractor to complete it, or is guaranteeing that if the government cannot find the money under the CBI program, they will provide the financing? And if they are going to provide the financing, will it be loan financing or grant financing? This issue will be clarified, and the government and the Chinese ambassador will come back and clear it in Dominica. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Very important questions there. Very important questions. Let's go back to the telephone. We have just about 9 minutes. Hello, yes. Paula, are you there?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. This whole afternoon has showed a contrast of methods to a problem. On the earlier part, you have a method of empowerment where a citizen studies the Constitution, knows what he can do under the Constitution, studies his rights, knows what he can do with the United Nations as a citizen, not as a member of any organization, something that any citizen can do, but it's mental empowerment. And you see a strategy that is based on law and procedure and expectation of the system. And here you come now to the second part. And the continuance of what is typical in the country, just a bunch of complaints, no collective. We're the collective of people in Western. Stick together, pull their resources together, use the Constitution, use the eminent domain clause, get a lawyer, do the things the right way, file injunctions. Two contrasts, and it's not about jail, group, or nothing. It's about empowerment. I heard Peter call him. I respect Peter, but I've never heard Peter make a more dumb statement than that. You understand? You do not need to be the United Nations for citizens. Any regular citizen in Dominica can complain to the human rights, of the United Nations. You complain long enough, you make the issue. All resources are paid. You don't have nothing to pay to be in Switzerland. It doesn't cost Daryl a dime to be in Switzerland. The United Nations pays everything. And Matt, as a reporter, and you and guys like Carla, I know Steve, a lot of people who go to those places are reporters. I think one of the things that you guys can do is to begin documenting these situations in Dominica and giving them voice to these kinds of organizations. That's things that you can do. As a lot of the guys who go over there are reporters. You understand? So we have to start doing more portions of empowerment, bro. There is just too much complaint in the country. A total contrast in this afternoon of how you can do things for empowerment and how you can do things where you keep getting exploited. You understand? Have a good day, my brother.
Have a good day. It's 2:53 in the afternoon. Let's listen to this comment there from Mr. Kalmura there, the man in charge of the airport contract there.
So in 12 months from now, exactly, the whole runway will be completed. In 12 months, in 1 year.
So the amount of work you're looking at right
next year, same time, you guys come here and you will see the whole runway, one area, just waiting for asphalt. Because before we asphalt, we have to wait 1 year to test the settlement. That's what we have. After that, we asphalt it and it's good to go. Yes.
Good to go after that, huh? So 1 year, as promised by Mr. Murat there. We are missing the point. This statement by the Chinese comes on the heels of a visit and meeting held by the opposition in the area just last week. So that is all in a view to neutralize the impact that the opposition had a few days before. Yes, I think I actually made some promo there for that meeting there in Wesley last week, Saturday. Hello, talk to me, huh?
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, you know my voice. I didn't call to talk about airport, but I heard Mr. Baptist, right? I just want to say something to remind Mr. Baptist that he'll get the answer. Remember, Mark, the Chinese ambassador already said to us, when it comes to road and schools, you're going to get that free. Or what word should I use? But when it comes to airport, it's going to be loan. Remember the embassy, the man said that you in the past?
He spoke. I asked him the question many years ago, and he did say that they don't finance airports now. They do.
Right. So
yes.
once it comes to airport, it's commercial, so we know what I mean. No, but Mark, why I call is to let Mr. Baptist know that yes, indeed, and in fact, there's going to be an election, Mr. Baptist, because tickets have been offered into total already. So there is going to be an election. Okay?
Okay. There's going to be an election as to when. Some people predict in December this year. Let's wait and see. I think let me see if I can go back to that clip there with Chinese on the airport. Let's see if I can go back there.
You just go back to this ambassador. you made a point about the airport, the international airport. I've heard many statements made locally that the Chinese government may, quote unquote, may help in assisting build this international airport. Can you expound a bit here?
So actually, it's the very, very airport is really very huge project, very, very huge project. Of course, the Chinese government, as I already said before, we have helped the Dominican many major projects, many projects. The airport, the international, usually Chinese government aided the country in the people's concerns projects. For instance, people's benefits, people's beneficial projects. For instance, hospital, the schools. We built the schools, bridges, Windsor Stadium parks, and all these projects just for the people's benefits. Airports is actually it's the commercial project. It's not for the people's beneficial projects. So usually Chinese government, according to Chinese foreign aid policy, we help the countries in the many people's daily lives projects, like West Coast Road and the schools, and also, for instance, agriculture building. This is for the people. Airport is actually a commercial project, strictly. So usually Chinese government don't have any predecessors to build an airport for other countries. Usually it's the combination of the commercial corporation. It's a commercial project. Chinese government can give you some loans to your government to build this airport. Also some other or a combination. But for the totally Chinese government help this country to build a new airport. No, we don't have such kind of precedence.
But there are private entities in China that could do that.
It's a Chinese company, private. They can for the commission. It's no problem for the commission. But for the Chinese government, it's we don't have such kind of precedence. Okay. But for the commission, it's no problem. If the Chinese company would like to build the airport for the commercial corporation, no problem. It's good. We welcome Chinese company. I always, as the Chinese ambassador to Dominican, I always say to Chinese company, welcome you to Dominican to build the airport for the commission.
All right, that was an interview conducted by yours truly some years ago. So the Chinese government will not get involved, but the commercial part of it can, the Chinese companies themselves will get involved, but not the government directly. So you heard it yourself, huh? I have this interview in the archives. Let's take our final call and we'll wrap it up here for the afternoon. Yes, hello.
Matt,
Yes, Malian.
yes, Matt, you must talk for the people they have their money for. You cannot say about runway for a whole year and you have them people money for them. Give this poor people their money. Mr. Rample is not a rich person. Matt, listen to that. Mr. Rample help her country. She had to go to America. She decided she stayed to help her people.
Okay, Malin. Sorry about that. I'm hoping that the government of Dominica find the funds to pay Ms. Dirampel and family. Next year, Flow Dominica. As we wrap up, I'm going to ask a very specific question. I'm hoping that you can get the answer by tomorrow. There's a big controversy going on as it relates to a bottle of water thrown away by the PM on stage just before he presented to Thea Lafont. That's causing a stir. Was it a bottle of blue water or was it a bottle of water sponsored by Trois Pitons? I know from sources that when Thea Lafont came in, a bottle of blue water was presented, which is not local. People are making a scene about this water being thrown away. And I saw water being presented there on that night. I was there. A number of Trois Pitons bottles were presented. So what is the water? What is the exact water that the PM threw away there on that night? There's a big controversy surrounding that. He took that water from the podium and threw it away. And it's not going down well in some circles. So check that video and find out what bottle of water. If you're asking us to support local, why don't you support local, PM? Or was it a mere incident? I guess we'll find out by tomorrow. What is that bottle of water? People are not taking this lightly, huh? Minor things like that. You might say he's blowing it up, but just a thought, huh? Just find out one bottle of water when I know for sure it was Trois Pitons water being presented on that night. That gesture was not a nice thing, huh? It's time for Flow Dominica. We'll get the questions answered tomorrow. Yes.
Internet experience, feel the speed.
Tomorrow.
Flow flagship store or call 440-3569 for more information.
When a stroke occurs, you have 60 minutes to win or lose the race of your life. There are new treatments, but you must get to the hospital fast. If you suddenly feel weakness on one side or have trouble speaking, walking, or seeing, it could be a stroke. Call 911 or 999. Get to the hospital because how you spend the next 60 minutes could determine how you spend the rest of your life. Stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. A message from the Ray Astor Foundation in partnership with Flo Dominica.
Roots Rock Bar and Grill presents Reggae Night Wednesday, each and every Wednesday, featuring selector urban and special guest DJs, 9 p.m. till very late. Drink specials, Roots Rock Bar and Grill in Tata. See you there.
When I reach any party, everybody don't know. Oh, oh, oh. If you think I'm crazy, it's the music that got me so. Oh, oh. When my party people, throw your hands in the sky. I. Come, my friends, I need you. It's time to raise the vibe with your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Flow is love. Yeah. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect. Smile and cheer because it's me so. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Independent ladies, step to the front. Oh, oh, oh. Tell us, are you ready? Step to the front. Oh, oh, oh. We're my party people. Put your hands in the sky. I. Come, my friends, I need you. It's time to raise the vibe with your hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Flow is love. Yeah. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. Hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because it's me so. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close.
Good afternoon, Dominica. How you doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Flow Hour right here live on Carry FM and Q95. To all my folks at Beauty Island, good afternoon to you. Fashion Center, good afternoon. Once you hear this, you know what time it is. This is how we flow. To all my folks at the Flow store, all my customers, good afternoon to you. Shout out to the team, good afternoon.
Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, this is how we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect. Smile and cheer because it's me so. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Flow is love. Yeah. Hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow. Yeah. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected. Smile and cheer because it's me so. Grab somebody and tell them hello. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Grab somebody and hold them there. Jam with each other. Hold them close, don't go nowhere. Hold them close, don't go nowhere.
Hello, welcome to Flow.
Look. I feel blue. Way up, I feel blue. Way up. Straight. Look.
I live the life I deserve. Bless. For vacay, I feel better at work. I mean, whatever it's worth, I give whatever I'm worth. For my nigga who gon' go to hell and back for me, I'ma give him heaven on earth for a hell of a check, yeah, whichever come first. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Look at my life, man, that's lessons on lessons on lessons. I treat the beat like it's a reverend. I tell the truth like, Father, forgive me, these are all my confessions, man, this wasn't luck, it was destined. I done lost homies who been with me since Ed and Eddie, who flip like confetti. And then when you back, they back to call you dog. That shit can get petty. Don't get no dap to me. Funny thing about talking behind my back is that it just keep coming back to me. Was off for a sec, now it's back to me. You mad at me? This ain't what I want, man. This what it had to be. This is that late night working after 3, man. This is why my old girl was mad at me. This why I'm your majesty, man. The click is the tightest, the push the tightest, the drinks are the coldest, the future the brightest, the feet not divided, the love is divided, and I just gotta thank God that we got it. Bless. I don't know what I would do without it. Who look like we robbed the bank, but all we make is deposits. Your profit will profit, oh God. I'm here for a good time, not a long time, you know. I haven't had a good time in a long time, you know. I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Anytime you see you're on the Flow Network, of course, you got to be blessed.
I'm way up.
It's all about the most reliable network.
Way up, I feel blessed. I ain't gonna say that we back or nothing, cause that implies that we're back from something. If we're back from something, it's some checks you owe us. I expect that payment, nothing less or over. I don't need them favors that you asked me for. I could give 2 about where the Grammys go. I just gave out Grammys on my Instagram. Them OVO boys, the business, man. It is what it is. Trust me, you get what you give. Yeah. You gotta come to my side and see how we live. Yeah. I cannot see heaven being much better than this. Yeah. Blessings on blessings for me and my team from the 6. Look at what we did. Yeah. Be quiet, I'm doing a toast. For that don't really do, that's where y'all be doing the most. Stop worrying about whoever's next. I am just worried about my mama worrying less. I think I'm famous enough. I don't need any more press. I am convinced I'm the only one left that's still doing it. Man, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, you know. I haven't had a good time in a long time, you know. I'm way up, I feel blessed. Way up, I feel blessed. Straight up. I'm way up, I feel blessed. Straight up. Way up, I feel blessed. My grandma just died, I'm the man of the house. So every morning I'm up cause I can't let him down. Always down for the cause, never down for the count. I guess when your stars align, you do like the solar system and plan it out. So I'm going overtime on the overtime. Yeah, I'm not invested, but you can't attest it. $1 million goals managed to manifest it. The family never going anorexic. I pay my mortgage and electric. Never going under even with anesthetics. At the top of the rap game and progressing. Check after check, checking off my checklist. Try and blow my cake, just know that's a death wish. No mistakes in life ever, it's only lessons. Feel like Shaq and Penny got back together. You joined the game before, who put it back together? I'm here for a good time, not a long time, you know.
Of course, don't forget for a back-to-school promotion, you can get a new smartphone for only $4 when you sign up for a postpaid bundle.
It's not a challenge, a big one. I keep some members with me in the fridge, the coat seats, they some cannibals eaters. They like to geek, drink a whole bottle, wake up and repeat. She took a look, mixed it with the chill out. Now she said 3D. Wow, go in the jungle and they got a coat. I bet I come out with a me. I bet I bitch for the fam, cause it's bigger than me. Big color thumbs in my infinity leg. And in the factory masterpiece. I call him twin, could that be my brother? We got the same roller, he matching me. Nah, for real.
Water on me like the sun of sun. Carrots, some pointers. All these comers, I won't fumble. Migo gunners out the jump. We buy it all. Cake on me, no funnel. Cash. Drop top feeling like stunner. Drop top. KD play no run. We gon' chrome my wallet. Smoke my take 35 to the tropics. Trappy. I was outside just serving narcotics. Give me that stick. Made one wrong move, just poppy. Living on broke with the third out in the hotel lobby. It's crowded. Diamonds be dancing like Bobby. They dance. Don't touch it, dick. Give you cock. Don't touch it. We get it. Gon' trend on the top, keep trending. The way I pull up, I'ma pop it, and none of these niggas gon' stop. Pull up, gone. Get it, don't get a cup for the drip on my 5 kilo. Keep stacking your bank and get bigger. Never will, I throw some shade on it. On tape, look, don't play with it. I see the big picture, we up on it. The huncho, the one you gon' call on me. I got your back, you gon' follow me. When I get up, we gon' ball on it. Look, we beat out the system. Water on me like the sauna. Song, carrots, song, pointers. All these commas, I want fun. Migo gunners out the jump. We buy it all. Runner. Cake on me, no funnel. Cash. Drop top feeling like stunner. Drop top. KD play no run. We gon' chrome my wallet. Smoke my take 35 to the tropics. Trappy. I was outside just serving narcotics. Pay me that stick. Made one wrong move, just popping. Living on broke with the flooded out in the hotel lobby.
I'm on the road. See me, I'm on the road. Yeah. I'm on the road. Yeah. Yeah, as much money as you can. Watch the puppy because it doesn't last forever. Yeah. Record label on my back, they want me to deliver. I'm not
Let me just launch up DJ Fresh Cut one time in the way there right now. Good afternoon to you. I know you always a Gaddy Logson. Also saying good afternoon going out to Lena up there in Tampa, Florida. Evelyn, good afternoon to you as well. How you doing today?
Yeah, had to pull myself together. Had to pull up in the woods, looking like a bag of treasure. If I learn one thing here, then it's never miss business with pleasure. Always surrounded by enemies, forced so clouded by the jealousy. I had Judas in my circle. Jesus Christ was even telling me, sleepless nights is all I ever seen. Seen the signs, it's like a memory. They were changing on me like a melody. Switch the food to food and change the recipe. Yeah. But I'm on the road, yeah. I'm on the road, yeah. A few ain't involved, yeah.
Taking this one coming from a Lady LaShaw right now. This one called On the Road. Take a listen one more time.
See me, I'm on the road, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm on the road, yeah. Get as much money as you can. Watch the puppy because it doesn't last forever. Yeah. Record label on my back, they want me to deliver. I'm not good with pressure. No way. Mama told me take it slow because I'm always on the road. That's the never. I got bags under my eyes, man. It's no surprise. I get talking leather. Going up just like a sweater. Feeling lighter than a feather. They were tearing me apart. Yeah. Had to pull myself together. Had to pull up in the woods. Looking like a bag of treasure. If I learn one thing here, then it's never miss business with pleasure. Always surrounded by enemies. Forced so clouded by the jealousy. I had Judas in my circle. Jesus Christ was even telling me, sleepless nights is all I ever seen. Seen the signs, it's like a memory. They were changing on me like a melody. Switch the food to food and change the recipe. Yeah, yeah. But I'm on the road, yeah. I'm on the road, yeah. A few ain't involved, yeah. You gotta go, yeah, yeah. When I'm on the road, yeah. I'm on the road, yeah. I'm at the door, yeah. I'm at the door, yeah, yeah. Don't forget my code, yeah. Respect the code, yeah. Bring up that big bro, yeah. The beat on my call, yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna stall, yeah. Slip into calls, yeah. I'm really sick of people saying no, yeah. It's gonna be all, yeah, yeah. Should've been mine a long time ago. I fairy tale a long time ago. There ain't no telling where I'ma go. Not be sweet like a pineapple. My best friend tried to stop me. My best friend had me. Figures. She was from Hackney. I spent